Remember when we read these lines and it felt like it divided everybody in the comment section? On or about March 8, 2026, while inside the residence, Kyle Dukes received a call on a cellular phone from one of the other co-conspirators inside the residence during the robbery and kidnapping. On or about March 8, 2026, Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and two other co-conspirators fled from the residence in a stolen vehicle. On or about March 8, 2026, after fleeing from the residence, Brown, Franklin, Chambers, and additional co-conspirators met up with Isaiah Dukes, Kyle Dukes, Ramsey, and additional co-conspirators who searched Brown, Franklin, and additional co-conspirators in order to ensure that all the proceeds of the robbery were collected. Well, I want to basically show y'all something before we show y'all something where, bruh, I'm going to be honest with it. This shit over and done with. Zay Osama about to sit it down because shit got sealed. So it's funny, right? We can get the indictment, but we can't get the superseding indictment. This is what pops up when you try to get the freaking superseding indictment. And y'all know, just like we showed y'all in the Pooh Shiesty case, there's always a superseding indictment, which has a lot of details. But the fact that we don't know these details are basically red flags saying rat, rat, snitch, snitch, rat, rat. Because it says sealed documents are no longer available in CM/ECF or via Pacer. Please contact the court directly to request access to the document, which basically means if you ain't a lawyer, bro, hell no. For thine eyes may they only be, for the public you cannot see. And then it says reference for court use only, and it talks about all that shit right there, but obviously we're not going to read that. But yeah, this right here basically screams snitch, snitch, snitch. And don't worry, we have more proof of that. Shout out to Spade TV. And right here, as of yesterday, right, because this is who it all started with, was Deshaun Brown. He's the first one that you see on the freaking indictment. And don't worry, I'll show you the proof of it. I'm not saying he's the one telling, of course, but I'm saying it all started with him. Y'all see at the top part where it says file 5526, page 101, United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division, notification of docket entry. This docket entry was made by the clerk on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Minute entry before the Honorable E&D Johnson as to Deshaun Brown, David Franklin, Anthony Ramsey, Isaiah Dukes, Kyle Dukes, Jalen Chambers. Telephonic status hearing set for June 2nd, 2026 at 9 a.m. The defendants will be made available by way of U.S. Marshals. The call-in number, whatever the hell it is, we're not going to do all that, access code, whatever. Persons granted remote access to proceedings are reminded of the general prohibition against, photographing, recording, and rebroadcasting of court proceedings. Violation of these prohibitions may result in sanctions. Attention! The notice is being sent pursuant to Rule 77D of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure or Rule 49C of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. It was granted by CM/ECF, the automated docket system used to maintain the civil and criminal dockets of this district. If a minute order or other document is enclosed, please refer to it for additional information. If you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. There's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful features. And one of the main ones lets you access up to $750 of your paychecks early. If you switch your payroll over with Current, you get a full set of features like paycheck advance, fee-free overdraft, and the build card and more. There's everything in one app. I actually like that myself, which is why I partner with them. And right now, they're giving $75 to anyone who signs up using my link or scans the QR code on the screen. If you scan the QR code, it'll take you straight to the sign-up page where you can create your own account. Just go through the normal sign-up steps, enter information, order your card. After you complete those steps, you'll see the option pop up to enter my promo code, which unlocks the $75 bonus when you switch your direct deposit. So make sure you go through the full sign-up process so you don't miss it. If you ever feel like managing money is stressful and tight sometimes, it's definitely worth checking out because that's literally what it's designed for. Not only did things get sealed, they said a whole lot in this freaking news report that in simpler terms it makes sense, but in the long run it was damning as hell because the feds released way too much information and hid way too much shit. Roll
Another
it.
story developing now. A seventh person is arrested in a violent home invasion in Winnetka.
And one of them turned out to be a Chicago rapper. We're checking back in with Say Kwan, who is live at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse with more on this. Say?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, those 6 men, all between the ages of 22 and 30, have now been indicted on charges of conspiracy to commit robbery and kidnapping. A seventh man, as you mentioned, was also just arrested yesterday, and prosecutors are saying a criminal complaint is expected to be filed for his alleged role in that home invasion as well. According to this indictment, guys, one of the suspects posed as a food delivery driver to get someone who was inside their home to open up the front door. That is when investigators say the other men who were armed with loaded guns forced their way in. The victim was held at gunpoint for about an hour, physically restrained, while the suspects demanded access to a safe, a computer, and even cryptocurrency accounts. Shortly after, authorities say the group took off, then met up with other alleged co-conspirators to split up their shares. Now, as you mentioned, we have learned one of the people charged is Isaiah Dukes, who some people may know as Chicago rapper Lil Zay Osama, who now lives in Los Angeles. Fox Chicago has actually interviewed him. This was last November after offering to help out a local mom and her young son after they were brutally attacked by a group of kids in Chicago. So far, all 6 men have pleaded not guilty. They will remain in custody pending trial. The seventh person arrested is also expected to face federal charges pretty soon here. Now, if convicted, the alleged suspects could face decades in prison, including possible life sentences for kidnapping charges. Guys?
Say, I know this is a lot of information, but do we know how police found these suspects?
Well, the interesting thing is, we heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office, and they say that this very much moved pretty quickly here. They were actually able to secure arrest warrants within 12 days of that home invasion. And, I was out in Winnetka last month to cover this home invasion, guys, and I remember hearing directly from local police there that these men were masked. So even after those arrest warrants were obtained, they kind of kept them sealed while they were working to identify everyone. We do know this was definitely not like a one-man job, right? We know multiple agencies were a part of tracking down this group, like the ATF, the FBI, but also, of course, several police departments in the area, including Winnetka, Chicago, Glencoe, Northbrook, and Orland Park. Guys, I'll toss things back to you.
Say, thank you for your report.
Then this crazy paragraph from Spade TV dropped, and it basically changed the whole entire ball game. When I say change the whole entire ball game, it basically let us know, be on the lookout. But we already knew this. We just needed further proof, because some of y'all, and I get it, some of y'all will go, oh, you know what, man? That sound crazy, Nash, but I need a little bit more. Y'all like them cats who y'all sprinkle like some salt or some sugar on y'all shit, where normally the rest of us go, your ass go, like you stabbing somebody. Well, this right here basically dispels all of that. So for the extra seasoned ass people, enjoy. CSI was involved in the subject offenses and provided information to agents on the day of his arrest in the hopes that such cooperation will result in favorable charging, release, and/or sentencing recommendations by the government that included providing consent for agents to search CSI-1's phone, which was recovered in connection with CSI's or CS1. Because I'm probably reading that wrong. Yeah, I'm reading it wrong. CS1's arrest. CS1 has prior felony convictions, and CS1 is aware that his/her involvement in the violent offenses set forth above violates conditions of court supervision. CS1 has been charged in federal court with the commission of the subject on March 27, 2026. CS1 provided additional information to law enforcement pursuant to a proffer letter agreement, meaning he didn't just tell. He wrote them a map, signed it, put some goddamn lipstick on it, kissed it, put it in an envelope, licked it, and sent it to the feds while he was rubbing his hands like Birdman, saying, you know what? I hope this one is the one that get me out. Maybe it will, boo-boo. And lo and behold, everybody is screwed the F over. So y'all want to know what happened and all this shit and everything, and I'll just break the news because it's going to come out when the trial starts. Y'all finna be like, damn, Nash, bro, you maybe should have made the complex list. Screw complex. Let me give y'all who they robbed. I'm not gonna show y'all their Instagram or nothing like that because then I'll be obstructed and all this shit and witness intimidation, blah, blah, blah. So I know the feds will be, Mr. Nash, we finally got your ass. So let's do it this way. Zay Osama had some cool people that were in California, right? He was messing with them and all that and all this shit and everything. Two white dudes, cooler than the other side of the pillow, got their bread and everything. People don't know this. They stayed in Illinois as well. So they've been knowing Zay Osama for years. But one thing Zay Osama's slow self didn't understand was this. Bruh, they were smarter than you from the jump. You just were more aggressive than them. So the money that they used to show Zay Osama was not in physical form. It was in electronic shit. Zay Osama thought to himself, oh shit, Shorty and them got their money, blah, blah, blah. So these dudes had millions in cryptocurrency. Zay Osama decides to concoct a plan when these dudes basically get to Illinois and they chilling in they shit. So Zay basically set this whole shit in motion. Like, bruh, let's try to steal and all this shit. So the money that they have is cryptocurrency money. It's actually not the money that y'all think. And it wasn't that $500,000 that y'all thinking. They were trying to put millions in a damn account, but they couldn't do it. It couldn't be processed. So the cryptocurrency that Zay Osama and them tried to steal, that shit right there is what they try to do. They try to convert millions and put it all over and all this shit, and that's why they done. See, sometimes with the money and all that shit and everything, dollar bills and all that, you're going to require certain things that you're going to need, right? Like, oh, my bank account was this, and now it's this. Oh, here's these statements, and now this is the new statement. Or, you know, ATMs and dare I say, going into freaking bank tellers and having your face, all this shit. And then you have videos out there on the cars. Like, that stuff typically exists. But in this instance, bruh, what they were trying to do was transfer over money. So it's over for Zay Osama. Bruh, I don't know when he gonna be getting out, but it ain't gonna be no time soon. He gonna miss about a quarter worth of his life because he been faking it and broke the whole time. He'll be on drugs. He'll be on a bunch of shit. I'm surprised he ain't go down for other shit that's been going on. But this is the one that's going to get him gone, I guess. But it don't stop the shit with him stealing stuff and all this stuff in Cali. That stuff is still on the dockets. But as it stands right now, Zay Osama's screwed. And the people who going to snitch, they already knew he was done. They knew that damn near when they left out the house. The funnier part is who else gonna get off the ride? Because if they know that this fool is done and they all know that they done, it's gonna be all for one and none for all. But hey, it is what it is. Share to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn on bells to notify, and I'll catch you on the next one. Click right here or right here. No, I'm lying. Hold on, we 15K away from these two things giveaway. Click right here to see how Blueface. Bro, what the hell going on? They say catch a body, your body, your body, your body. Click right here for that, or click right here or right here for the playlist, and I'll catch you on the next one.